Welcome back to Weather on the Go, all your weather coverage. In today's weather forecast, we will be updating you on the coldest temperatures of the 2024 winter season. Also, we'll be updating you on the winter storm moving across the southern and eastern United States, bringing heavier snow and ice accumulations. And we'll also be looking ahead to late January and what you can expect weather-wise as we go into the last week of the month. Welcome back again to Weather on the Go, all your weather coverage. If you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe to the channel down below for detailed weather breakdowns across North America and helping me get to 75,000 subscribers by the end of this month, just simply by subscribing to the channel. Also pressing the like button down below, it helps out more than you know. Here are your temperature anomalies, and just a couple of weeks ago we were talking about a polar vortex that was going to be moving down into portions of North America, including the United States, and the coldest core of that air is sitting across the central and eastern U.S. as we go into today on Martin Luther King Day. And looking at temperatures, these are your low temperatures waking up this morning. We are 20 below here across portions of Iowa, northern and western Illinois, and then getting into the teens below zero for low temperatures across the Dakotas and much of the upper Midwest this morning. Here is your wind chill values, and this is just putting a little bit of wind in the air, and this will knock your wind chill values down into 30, 35, even 40 below zero here, and even look it up here into Montana, northeast Montana, into some of those higher elevations, 50 degrees below zero wind chills waking up this morning. So again, another day to bundle up, and it's not going to get much better as we go into the afternoon. Here's your high temperatures again, centered across the north central states, the Midwest, the northern high plains, getting into the Rockies, and southern Canada. We will struggle to get above zero for the afternoon. Meanwhile, we still have that freezing line further to the south across portions there of the Cumberland Plateau in eastern Tennessee into Dixie Alley here. And look at that, coastal Texas, 30 degrees for a high in Houston this afternoon. Factoring in the wind, most areas will only improve to 20 to 30 below with the wind chills further north. So when you're waking up to wind chills of 40 to 50 below this morning, you're only going to improve to 20 to 30 below with wind chills for the afternoon. So not much better. Here's your current weather conditions across the United States here. You see some lake effect snow still ongoing across portions of Lake Superior here and portions there of Lake Erie, but we do start to see more of that winter storm tracking across the Tennessee Valley here. Middle and eastern Tennessee already have seen several inches of accumulation from our snow out there, and we're going to see at least a few more inches on the way. We still have that freezing rain, freezing drizzle there from Texas into northern Louisiana, southern Arkansas, and getting into Mississippi there. Looking at that, here's your current weather alerts across the country. We have those winter weather advisories in the purple, pink shaded colors. Those are winter storm warnings, either for ice or for heavy snow accumulations from portions of Texas all the way to West Virginia and Virginia as we go through today. So going through today, we have a snow swath, very narrow, but across portions of West Virginia into northern and western Virginia, parts of eastern Kentucky, getting down into middle and eastern Tennessee. Little swath of rain there into North Carolina and southern portions of Virginia, and then we transition over to a freezing rain or a freezing drizzle across portions there of Texas, Louisiana, into southeastern Arkansas, into portions there of Mississippi. Going into tonight, that will slowly swing its way further off to the east. We'll start to see more snow showers developing across the I-95 corridor. Look at that. We have enough cold air in place. Boston, New York City this time getting some snow. That is a guarantee. Down into the Trenton region, and even Philadelphia definitely seeing some snowflakes out there going into tonight. And then on your Tuesday, that rain snow line pushes further north, so areas that will see rain at night will transition more to a rain snow mix during the day for New York City into portions of Connecticut, Rhode Island, and Boston. But the snow will be flying still across portions of Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, and upstate New York as we go through your Tuesday time frame. Overall, this is additional snowfall accumulation on top of what we've already seen fall across these regions through your Wednesday, January 17th timeframe. And you notice a narrow corridor, but a potent corridor of snow here. And zooming it in, we have an additional 2 to 4 inches of snow on the way for the Nashville region, already picking up over 4 inches of snow here with our last reports. Into eastern Tennessee, Crossville over to Knoxville there could be seeing another 6 inches worth of snow. And then up here toward Charleston, West Virginia as well, we could be seeing another 3 to 6 inches worth of snow through your Wednesday time frame. Moving it up here toward the Northeast and New England, Maine, down through the I-95 corridor there into Boston, Hartford, New York City, including Long Island, getting into the Trenton region, Philadelphia, Baltimore, Washington, D.C. A lot of our communities up here will be seeing 2 to 4 inches worth of snow as we go through the middle of the week. But then unfortunately, we're seeing ice further to the south. We have that shallow, warm layer aloft, but cold air at the surface, and that means we're going to see more of those raindrops falling. It'll look like rain, but they will freeze on contact with the ground, and that will turn that over to ice accumulation for eastern Texas, southern Arkansas, getting through much of Louisiana there, Mississippi into Alabama, and parts of Tennessee toward the Chattanooga region in particular, with some of the icing through your Wednesday time frame. Overall, if you are traveling across this region, make sure you are watching out for those roadways out there. Take it slow if you do have to, because it is going to be slippery across especially Tennessee into northern Mississippi there, with those moderate and major travel disruptions through the midweek time frame. Now let's talk about temperatures once more. As we go into Wednesday, January 17th, the coldest of our air will be finally moving back up into southeastern Canada, but we're not done yet. We'll start to moderate our temperatures a little bit for the upper Midwest and the Great Lakes, but we're going to see a secondary lobe of the polar vortex actually shifting south on Thursday. That'll be up here near the international border between Canada and the United States by then, but then by Friday and into the upcoming weekend, that will be leading to another area of very cold temperatures centered across the Midwest and the Ohio Valley. Looking at that on Wednesday, notice we are moderating our temperatures. It's not the warmest temperatures we have ever seen, but we're back above the 0 degree mark for many of our areas here across the upper Midwest, the Great Lakes, and portions of New England. Going into Thursday, much of the same, but notice cold air gathering across southern Canada. We're below 0 once again, and then as we go into Friday, the 19th of January, there comes that negative temperatures again into portions of the upper Midwest and the northern high plains. And I do think this model, the high resolution Euro model, is actually conservative on some of these temperatures, not taking into account some of our snowpack up here. And I think Saturday morning, these temperatures could be a little bit colder than what this model does show at times, because of that snowpack that we have with our recent couple of snowstorms across portions of the Midwest, the Great Lakes there. So we will continue to watch that and monitor that as we get into Saturday morning, but nonetheless, our wind chill values will be well below 0 for your Saturday, starting off this upcoming weekend, below 0, 20, 30, even 40 below once more, with more wind chill advisories and likely wind chill warnings once again up across the Midwest and into the Great Lakes region for your Saturday morning. If you aren't a fan of the cold and you are wondering and waiting for some of that warmer, milder air to come in, just wait another week. As we go into the last week in January, say the January 22nd through the 28th time frame, the Climate Prediction Center's 8 to 14 day temperature outlook is showing all of portions of the United States, at least some shape or form, above normal temperatures. But just remember, it is still late January, so above normal doesn't mean we're going to jump up into the 70s. It just means we're going to be above normal for late January standards. So as we go into early next week, what you're looking at here is your 500 millibar height anomalies. Generally speaking, the blues and the purples are below normal, And the reds, oranges, and yellows are above normal. And then where the whites are, that's just near normal heights across the United States here. You can see the warmer colors across the east. We're going to start to warm up and moderate our temperatures. We're kicking out those blue and purples up into Canada there. So we're no longer seeing that polar and Arctic air. By the middle of next week, notice how that actually strengthens across portions of the eastern U.S. here. And that means our temperatures will really start to moderate as we have that January thaw coming in for that last week into January. Here's your high temperatures. I was talking about that Monday the 22nd, Tuesday the 23rd, and even Wednesday the 24th time frame of January. We're going to start to see more 20s filtering up here into the upper Midwest, the Ohio Valley, and New England, and this will probably feel like summer compared to what we just came out of. 40s, maybe some 50s further down to the south, but look at these temperatures take off by the middle of next week, and we only have to wait about a week and a half for this. Temperatures will be back above freezing, yes, across the Midwest, the Ohio Valley into New England, and look at that, well above freezing to the south, 50s, 60s, and even some 70s return for Florida. So our snowpack up here will start to slowly melt across the Midwest and the Great Lakes by the middle of next week. It will come at a cost, though. We do have some active weather to talk about. You can see above normal precipitation favored across the south central U.S., really centered across the southern plains for that last week in January. We could have a system that could be bringing in some Pacific moisture, but also Gulf of Mexico moisture, and where those two meet, we could start to see more rainfall, especially for Texas, a few thunderstorms. We're not looking at any severe weather. The dynamics are not looking to come together for that, but where the cold air does linger a little bit toward early next week, we could have some freezing drizzle, especially during the morning hours. Then as we go into the middle of next week, that warm air will take over, and most of our precipitation that does occur will actually be in the form of liquid, of rain. So that will go all the way up through the Mississippi Valley, into the Midwest, the Ohio Valley, and the Great Lakes here. And that snow line will go all the way up back into southern and southeastern Canada by the middle of next week. And looking at those rainfall accumulations, potentially, we could be seeing some decent rains if that system comes to fruition next week. More beneficial rains for Texas, Oklahoma, southern Missouri, Arkansas, getting into Louisiana and Mississippi, and really much of the deep south here. And that is the very area where we do need help with our drought out there. We still have some significant droughts across the deep south, and hopefully we can improve on those drought conditions going into late January. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to the channel down below for these detailed weather breakdowns across North America. I will continue to keep each and every one of you covered with your weather forecasts out there moving forward. Make sure to like the video down below, especially if you like today's weather content. Make sure also to share this video with friends, family, and on social media. And I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of their week out there.